Italian Serie A giant Juventus and teams in the Major League Soccer. But Guardiola suggests the hope of Siva staying at the club was not lost as the Portugal international has yet to communicate a decision over its future. He said, I'm so grumpy with Bernardo because a month ago I said if you take a decision, I have to be the first to know, and he didn't say anything to me yet. Guardiola said, I think the proper one must be Bernardo. I don't know if he has already decided. I said jokingly, tell me I deserve it, but he didn't tell me, so I don't know what's going on. Linders made the comment after City's new FA Cup thrashing of Liverpool in the quarter-final last weekend, with Guardiola unable to fulfill media duties as he was serving a touchline ban. North London side Arsenal have been given a boost with Piero Nkapie seen back in training with the team. The defender has been injured since the international break when he limped out of one of Ecuador's friendlies and then missed the FA Cup defeat to Southampton, as well as the Champions League win over Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. Nkapie was not seen in Arsenal's open training session on Thursday. Pictures posted by the Gunners on Friday showed the defender back on the grass with his teammates. When asked if any of Nkapie, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Ricardo Calafiore, and Julian Timber this weekend, Arteta said yes, there have been changes. There since yesterday, there have been more players pushed on who might be back. He said, I don't know. Some of them. It's another boost for Arsenal with Iberici Eze also set to return after returning from injury this week. The midfielder limped out of Arsenal's Champions League win over Bayer Leverkusen, which forced him to miss the Carabao Cup final. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says there's no time right now to discuss extending his contract. Arsenal reportedly held initial discussions with Arteta over his current deal, which expires at the end of the next season, and they have been described as heading in a positive direction. Speaking today, Arteta played on the talks. He said there's no news on that. We don't have time to discuss that now. The full focus is on what we have to do from here until the end of the season. Arteta has only one Arteta has only one trophy, the FA Cup in 2020 during his 6.5 years at the club, having second in the Premier League on 3 occasions. Arsenal hold a 9 points lead over Manchester City with 7 games remaining and are also on course to reach the Champions League semi-finals. Chelsea midfielder Enzo Fernandez will remain unavailable for the upcoming home match against Manchester City, despite apologizing for recent comments about Madrid, according to head coach Liam Rossinier. Fernandez was handed a 2-match internal ban by the club last week after he gave an interview during the international break in which he expressed his admiration for the city of Madrid. The Argentine has repeatedly been linked with a move to La Liga club Real Madrid. His agent Avi Pastore said this week that they cleared the air with Chelsea after Fernandez missed Saturday's 7-0 FA Cup victory against Port Vale and had hoped the ban would be reduced to one match. However, Rossinier says Fernandez remains Sunday's Premier League fixture against Manchester City as Chelsea have decided to stick to the original punishment, despite the Argentine apologizing for his comment. And Tottenham new manager Roberto De Zerbi says he's not better than Thomas Frank or Igor Tudor as he prepares to take charge of the game at the Premier League strugglers. Sunderland will be Spurs' first opponent under the Italian, who was appointed on the 31st of March, which the club 1 point outside the relegation zone with 7 games remaining. The Zabi is Tottenham's third manager of the season after Frank and Tudor. Tudor only lasted 44 days and 70 matches in the role. He said today, I'm proud and happy to be here, and I have to say thank you to Vinay Venkatesham and John Lange because they showed me a big confidence. I'm sure about the level of the players because I was very again many of these players to my former teams in the past. I think I'm not better than Frank or Tudor because I consider them very good coaches. I try to bring my style, my character, my personality, and my strength to achieve our target, which is the most important part now. Tottenham have not won a domestic league game in 2026 and only two since 26th of October 2025. Embattled Liverpool manager Arne Slot says feels complete support from both the club and fan base despite pressure mounting on the Liverpool head coach. Liverpool have lost 3 straight games, including 2 new losses to Paris Saint-Germain in the fourth leg of the Champions League quarter-final and an emphatic 4-0 defeat to Manchester City in the FA Cup to compound the dismal run of just 2 wins in their last 8 fixtures. Pressure has now been ramped up on Slot ahead of facing Fulham on Saturday night, but the Liverpool boss has retreated. He feels nothing but support from the club's hierarchy and supporters. He said, I'm repeating myself a lot, but I have said many times I feel a lot of support. He said this in his press conference ahead of facing Fulham, not only from the owners Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, but as weird as it sounds, I feel the support of the fans. When we were out in Paris immediately after a 4-0 loss to Manchester City, the fans were singing, We love you, Liverpool. Al Ali goalkeeper Mohamed El Shanawi has been given a 4 match ban for striking a referee to the head following a 1-1 draw with Ceramica Cleopatra in Egyptian Pro League. The Egypt international was on the bench for the Tuesday's game, was angered by Al Ali not being awarded a penalty for a handball in added time. A 4 match ban and a fine of 50,000 Egyptian pounds. £700 for assaulting the referee by pushing or pulling use of the hand without violence, said the league statement on Ashnawi's punishment. The 37-year-old was Egypt's fourth choice goalkeeper at the 2025 African Cup of Nations and is expected to be in his country's squad for this Summer World Cup in North America. He will now be sidelined until the final week of the league playoffs, when the competition's top 7 teams face each other in a championship round. Defending champions Al Ahly thought after 1 match in the playoff on 41 points, 5 points behind leaders Zamalek. Liverpool female team have reached an agreement to sign German international Vivian Endemann when her contract expires at Wolfsburg this summer. The 24-year-old forward will join on the 1st of July following 3 seasons with Wolfsburg and a 7-year stay in her homeland. Endemann has 17 senior international caps for her country, scoring 3 times, and was part of the squad that won bronze at the 2024 Olympic Games. She has scored 3 goals and provided 3 assists in 8 Bundesliga starts this season, as well as 19 in a 5-2 victory over Manchester United in the Women's Champions League in November. And Deman was also on the score sheet in both of Germany's most recent Women's World Cup qualifying victories over Slovenia and Norway in March. And to mix martial arts, Daniel Rodriguez is targeting a return to UFC and says it will show the monster that prison created after 8 months in jail. The 39-year-old American posted a video caption, "Ready for my return to the UFC octagon," after saying he has been released from prison in Tijuana in a Mexican jail. The video appearance to show footage of Rodriguez training with a punch bag and sparring in front of a line of prison cells. The details of Rodriguez's arrest have not been disclosed, but when asked Mexican legal authorities and the UFC for comment, and nothing was reviewed. 8 months in a cage in Tijuana, Mexico, never killed my spirit. I did everything possible to stay on point and ready for my return to the UFC octagon, said Rodriguez. Rodriguez, who is 14th in the UFC's welterweight ranking, has not fought since July last year when he beat American Kevin Holland by unanimous decision. And finally, tonight, Yannick Sinner added yet another accolade to his CV with a 6-3-6-4 win over Felix Uge Alizem to become just the fourth man to win 20 successive Masters 1000 matches, joining Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal. The Italian bounced back to form after breaking his 37 set winning streak in the fourth round against Thomas Mashak to dismiss the Canadian in straight set and confirm his spot in the semi-finals. He also continued his charge to take back the world number one spot after Carlos Alcaraz dethroned Cena in November last year and has held on to the top spot. He said, "I feel like it was a step forward today." When asked how he felt about the game against Mashak, he said it was a very tough match and he had to get better in certain areas. The serve is not there yet. Yeah, I would love it to be, but all things considered, I am very, very happy. He will play Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals after the German fought hard to beat Brazil's João Fonseca 7-5, 6-3, 6-3. That's all we have in the news. Talking point next. Alright, welcome back to Urban Sport on 94.5 Urban Radio. Europe is alive tonight. West Ham United and the Premier League will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. The game is set for 8 p.m. after a long break in the Premier League. Almost a month break in the Premier League. Football activities return fully in the Premier League in England. Tonight, we have Valentin Castellanos leading the line for West Ham United alongside Jared Bowen, Pablo Somerville, in the midfield, Thomas Susek and Matheus Fernandes. In defense, Kyle Walker Peters, Mavropanos, Axel Disasi, Malik Diouf. Matt Emerson is the keeper for West Ham United tonight in a 4-2-3-1 formation. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, Adam Armstrong and Angel Gomez in the attack. In the midfield, Hugo Buono, João Gomez, Andre Belagadi, and Taucha. And in defense, Ladislav Krejci, Santiago Bueno, Jesse Mosquera, Jose Sa is the keeper. In a 3-5-2 formation for Wolverhampton Wanderers tonight. The big giant in Spain are also in action tonight. Real Madrid will take on Girona. The game is set for 8 p.m. In the next 15 minutes, the team will file out for that match. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Brahim Diaz in the attack tonight. Federico Valverde, Eduardo Camavinga, and Jude Bellingham. In defense, Dani Cavara replaces Trent Alexander-Arnold, Eder Militao, Raul Asensio, and Frank Garcia. Andre Lunin, still in post ahead of Thibaut Courtois, who is injured in a 4-3-3 formation for Real Madrid tonight. Also for Girona, they file out in a 4-3-3 formation to Azedin Oanachi, Claudio Echeverri, and Victor Singankov. Dangerous front line for Girona tonight. In the midfield, the experienced Thomas Lemmer, Axel Witsu, and Ivan Martin. In defense, Alex Moreno, Vitor Reis, Francis, and now Martinez, and Paulo Gazzaniga is the keeper for Girona tonight. So those are some of the games we're expecting. Then Osborg already leading against Offenham, 2 goals to nothing. As we speak, Claudio Morris scored in the 11th minute and Greg with a second in the 14th minute of the game. Yes, Roma also playing against the Pisa. The game started at 7:45, so the actions are still alive for now, and the game in France is about to end. Paris FC are hammering AS Monaco 4 goals to 1. Yes, the first goal was scored by Jonathan Ikone and assist from Super Eagles winger Moses Simon. Then Ciro Immobile, yes, Italian superstar, scored in the 8th minute and assist from Masha Monetsky. Then Ciro Immobile assisted Jonathan Ikone for the third goal. In the 23rd minute, they were leading 3 goals to nothing as early as the 22nd minute of the game. Then Falani Balogun reduced the deficit in the 36th minute for Monaco. Paul Pogba came in for Tino Kara in the 69th minute, and Luca Coliusho scored another in the 74th minute for Paris FC. So as it stands now, it's 4 goals to 1. Paris FC are leading against AS Monaco. Marseille against Metz. It's by 8:05 tonight. 091600595. Bernardo Silva and Pep Guardiola's love is forever. Pep Guardiola wants him to stay back. They experienced this guy as guy that did never get an injured midfielder for Manchester City wants to leave at the end of the season. But if they offer him a contract, if Pep wants him, convinces him, he might not need a lot of conviction to stay. But if Pep wants Bernardo Silva, he knows what to do. But if he said he wants him to stay, let's see if he's going to stay at the end of the season. Arsenal, Piero Nkapie is back. Bridges is back. Will they play tomorrow against Bournemouth by 12:30? Time we tell. 09160059545. Real Madrid are in action tonight. They lost their last 2 games. They lost against Bayern Munich and also lost against Mallorca. They are active tonight against Girona. Will they be able to get a win, return to winning ways? We'll find out at the end of 90 minutes. 09160059545, 091600495, and you can text us at 09128945945. Liverpool fans, are you guys really behind Anna Slot? Truthfully, are you guys really? Because it says the hierarchy are behind him and the fans are behind him. Are you guys really behind Anna Slot? Do you want him to still continue to take charge of this Liverpool team next season? If you want him to continue, what do you think he should do? 09160059545, 091604945. Despite begging, Liam Rossini has refused to reinstate Enzo Fernandez into the team until he completes the ban, which is the ban against the game against the Manchester City. Yes, the ban against Manchester City. So 09160059545, 091604945. Those are the numbers to call. Different talking points tonight, and you can pick yours. Chelsea will insist on not playing Fernandez against Manchester City. Liverpool fans, do you guys still backing Anna Slot as the man to take you back to where you belong? Arsenal fans, you guys are playing against Bournemouth tomorrow at the Emirates Stadium. Nkapie Bridge is back in the squad, but no sign of Bukayo Saka, no sign of Calafiori or Uran Timber. So it's a lot of talking points going into the weekend of a lot of monster clashes. The running is active, both in the Premier League and the Spanish La Liga, in the Nigerian Premier Football League, because Rangers will be traveling to Niger Tornadoes on Sunday to play by 4 p.m. Right, so it depends on what you really want to talk about tonight. 09162059545, 09162044945. Those are the numbers to call, and you can text us on 09128945945, 09128945945. Right, games are starting by 12:30 tomorrow. Arsenal versus AFC Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium. At the GTEC Stadium, we have the game between Brentford and Everton. Burnley and Brighton, also by 3 p.m. Liverpool versus Fulham is by 5:30 tomorrow. In the MPFL, the game starts by 4 between Brendan Insurance and Abia Warriors. Going into the Spanish La Liga, Real Sociedad against the Alaves is also early. It's by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Elche will take on Valencia by 3:15. Espanyol versus Barcelona. That's one game that's going to be dicey for Barcelona, especially because it's a derby. 5:30 tomorrow, Barcelona versus Espanyol. And Sevilla will take on Atletico Madrid tomorrow night by 8 p.m. Right in the Bundesliga games that's set for 2:30, Borussia Dortmund versus Bayer Leverkusen promises to be entertaining. FC Eindhoven against Union Berlin by 2:30 also. RB Leipzig against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Wolfsburg against Eintracht Frankfurt. I believe Bayern Munich will roll over St. Pauli by 5:30 tomorrow. 0916 What's going on with the phone line tonight? 0916 0916 Those are the numbers to call in the Italian Serie A. The game for 2 p.m. tomorrow, Cagliari versus Cremonese. Torino will take on Hellas Verona. Also by 2 p.m. tomorrow, AC Milan versus Udinese by 5. Atalanta against Juventus is by 7:45. Also tomorrow. So that's a bit of the update. And for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, saying the focus is on what's going on right now. And what is going on is Arsenal trying to win the Premier League title as well as win the Champions League. Those are the main targets, the ambition set in front of them before you start talking contract extension for Mikel Arteta. Good evening to you. Hello? Hello? All right, 0916 0916 You would expect an experienced keeper like El Shanawi to understand the role. Experience is 37 years, is the number one keeper for Egypt. You expect him to understand that you cannot verbally abuse, physically abuse a referee of the game. Your 10, 20, 30 years of experience as a keeper, you should understand that better. Good evening to you. Hello? Hello? Okay, hello? 0916 The two lines are available for you tonight, so you can call on any. Right, good evening, Banky. So sad seeing my Barcelona lose 2 goals to nothing at home. Knowing fully well it will be difficult to skate through against Atletico Madrid away. Our top priority is truly the UEFA Champions League, which we haven't won since 2015. Really need a top striker like Oshiman. Innocent from Ungo. Yes, you guys need a replacement for Robert Lewandowski. And how you're going to overturn 2 goals against Atletico Madrid? That's an Achillean task. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
How are you, man?
I'm fine.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Andy. I'm calling from Ebonyi State.
All right, go ahead, man.
Hello?
Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. Tomorrow's match about Liverpool and Fulham. I'm giving it to Liverpool.
Why? Why are you giving it to them? Why are you giving it to them with their bad form? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
I said, why are you giving it to Liverpool? I said, with their bad form.
I said I'm giving it to Fulham.
To Fulham. Fulham, Abi. Fulham will win Liverpool. Oh, okay, fine. I didn't hear that. All right. If that's it, no problem. All right, thank you. 0916 And those are the numbers to call to be part of the conversation, and you can do that before the time goes out. 0916 Those are the numbers to call, yeah, to be part of the conversation. So I was talking about Eshinawi. You know the rule. You cannot do that with the experience. 15 years of active football, 15 years of being in between the sticks at different levels in your life. Even as a teenage goalkeeper, as an eighth grade goalkeeper, you know that no matter what, you must control your emotions against the referee, and you go out there and do that against the referee. It is totally unacceptable. All right, 091600595 091604945. Good evening to you. All right, network is a bit troublesome tonight. 09128945945. You can write us there. You just send a message and I get to read it. Hello? Yes. Are you with me? Okay. 091600595. He was banned for 4 matches and fined £700. Yes, for assaulting the referee by pushing or pulling. You cannot even do that. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Bank.
Yes, your name and location.
My name is I'm looking from Ninth Man.
All right, go ahead, my friend. Okay, the network is it's a bit crazy tonight, and hopefully we can take one more because we have to go tonight. Hello, can you hear me? All right, thank you guys. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, back here tomorrow evening, 4 to 6 p.m. on Box 18. It's complete football conversation, live report of games going on, live commentary and reactions of games going on. The Premier League returns powerfully tonight, and it's going to start with that game between West Ham United. Yes, West Ham United are going to be at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Olympic Stadium in London. So that game is set for 8 p.m. tonight. We'll return tomorrow morning. We'll return tomorrow evening, 4 to 6 p.m. on Box 18, complete football conversation. But for Urban Sport, it's weekdays, 8 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. So Urban Sport returns on Monday, 8 a.m. and also 7:30 p.m. I am Banky O. Good evening to you.